I am live. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this evening's masterclass, as we're trying to call it, about getting yourself set up for going to LinkedIn and using LinkedIn to get lots of lovely, juicy leads for your business. You might have not have thought much about using LinkedIn at all, to be honest. You might follow me or you might be connected with me for totally different reasons. Doesn't this shirt, which caused all the controversy, Phil asked me if I was wearing it for charity, does not go with my rented property curtains, does it? That's for sure. Although Phil would argue, Phil Higgins, this is not Phil Harrison, that doesn't really go with anything. Okay, so you might not have thought of using LinkedIn for your business, but I'm here to tell you, like, even if you don't want to use LinkedIn, it's worth tuning in tonight, put it that way. So what we're going to do talk about tonight is the prep work, really, before we actually go to LinkedIn and start to be active on there, which we'll talk about tomorrow, Wednesday. And we're going to talk about actually putting that headline together. This is a really crucial part of your business for all of your business, basically. It's not something that you can skip. Now, ICA work, so I've got this written down because I know I'm going to get loads of questions. ICA means Ideal Client Avatar. And it's a fancy kind of wanky agency term for defining one, not a range, one particular person who would be your dreamy, bullseye, perfect, wondrous, ideal client or customer. We use client for this. So not anybody who you could sell to, might be able to sell to, want to sell to. Hi, everyone. But instead, the dream client, not just any client, the absolute perfect client, the client that makes you want to leap out of bed to sell to, that makes you want to go for a pint with, as well as sell them stuff, who makes you want to, every time they message you or email you or voice note you, you're excited to listen to it, read it, or open it. Because you know it's going to be wonderful. They're going to love you and you're going to love them. You're going to have tons in common. You're going to just absolutely get your jam on together. You're going to super high vibe with each other. Like you might think I'm being almost like, oh, that's not how business works. You know, you just have to get clients, you have to get money. Actually, this is how business can work. You know, finding ideal clients rather than just clients is the most important part of running a business that gives you joy. And that's kind of what I'm focusing on, teaching you guys. And for me, LinkedIn is the fastest route to those clients and the cheapest route to those clients. So LinkedIn's free. There are loads of ways to find dreamy clients, and I've tried most of them, or I implement most of them. Things like Facebook ads and funnels and freebies and 5-day challenges and courses and masterminds and all that kind of stuff. Like I do all that. But to really get money in the bank quick for me and get good money from ideal clients rather than just any money from toxic clients, good money from ideal clients. That's what we're looking for, right? And for me, LinkedIn just delivers that. I used to call it like the lead generating cash machine, because it's something about LinkedIn, the way that the clients that you get and the type of clients that you get and the way that people interact on there. The way that I teach LinkedIn is about putting your ideal client at the center of everything you do. If you were to ask me, like, what's the one thing that people say is different about my stuff? It's that. It's the way I use LinkedIn, the way I teach it, is to put the client and what's going on with them at front and center on your profile, never mind anywhere else. So whereas a lot of people talk about, you know, use it as a showcase page, as a sort of CV, like show how great you are, I use the LinkedIn profile to talk to my ideal clients and use it as a landing page. I want to get people to come to them. And I talk to them in a way that says, I know how you're feeling. Like, are you this person? Do you feel like this? You know, are these things going on in your world? If so, you know, I can help. I can deliver these things for you. These are the outcomes, basically. This is why it's me that can help you. This is why my product or service is the solution, but this is why it's me as a person. So a lot of my stuff is like, I'm striving for emotions-based selling to be the way everyone sells and buys to each other. You know, I really am. Like, I don't think we need to look at overcoming objections. I think we need to look at how can we really help people and how can we put what's going on in their hearts and minds front and center of everything. It's one of my children. That's what it needs. She just doesn't know. You're live to the nation. Lovely niece Scarlett. Hello.
Hello.
I'm on a live. It's all right. Just be aware that you're beaming to the nation on multiple platforms now.
Some beans.
Some tins of beans. Yeah, just on there. Katie ate the ones with the sausages in yesterday. So I really think, like, if you put your ideal client at the front and center of everything you do in terms of how you write your profile, the content that you put out, the way that the people that you ask to connect, and that's why it's so important on the LinkedIn process. It's kind of who are you actually going to go and reach out and ask to connect if you don't really know who that person is. So if you've got any questions, I've got another thing for this. I might stop narrating everything I'm doing. Oh, I haven't got one. Hold on. So, thank you. Ask me anything in the comments about ideal client avatar. So how do we do it? So you've probably heard people talking about ICA work. You've probably heard people saying, oh, you need to understand your ideal client, all that kind of stuff. But how do we actually do it? And this is a process that I've done a million times now. I've done it like for my own agency. I've done it with different clients. I've done it one-to-one. I've done it in groups. I've done it in the challenge. And the feedback I get is that basically people just don't normally go this deep. Oh, I'm live. I can see myself here. Okay, see, lovely Michelle Ewing, I can see you, but I can't see you in these comments. But anyway, I'm just gonna deal with it. I can see some people in the comments. But yeah, okay. Yes, the product placement, the wine in the background. Oh, talking of the wine, I got the others out because I was like, I'm gonna have rosé tonight. So this is my rosé wine, and it is good. It is really good. I'm not even gonna lie. It's so good. Look, it's super cold. Look, that's freezing. So I'm gonna have a glass of this. Try and keep that summer feeling going a little bit longer. Yes, I can see Jim. I can see you in the comments in here. I can see Michelle in the comments on Facebook. So I've got you guys. I just can't see comments everywhere else. So hopefully I won't lose anything. Okay, that's gonna get hot there, isn't it? I'll put it there with radiator. Cheers, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Yeah. Okay, so define your ideal client, and yeah, giving yourself permission to only work with clients that are dreaming and light you up and make you feel amazing. You know, is my gift to you this evening. You don't have to work with everyone. You don't want to work with everyone. You can't work with everyone, and you shouldn't want to work with everyone. The more niche you are, the easier it is to find clients, and the more you can deliver a bespoke service. I.e., if you've got, for example, say you're a copywriter and then you niche into becoming a sales copywriter for pet products, and then you get 10 clients who've all got pet products. Like, think how great you're going to get at writing for that audience and writing for that market, even though they've got different products, they've got the same kind of audience. So you're going to get really, really good at it. You become so good, and everything you learn, you can teach and you can share with all your other clients as well. So that's just a little example. So how do we actually create? So yesterday was all about choosing one product and picking our niche, and today is going to be about how do we create our ICA, ideal client avatar. Favorite book. So what we do is we get a piece of paper in your favorite book, and this is like, so I've done this so many times. It's so funny. I used to be surrounded by these. We draw out a stick figure, and the first question I want you to ask yourself is, do I prefer working with men or women? It's okay to just pick one. Because we're only going to create one person. So we're going to create one single person, and we're going to give them a life. We're going to bring them to life. Now, what we don't do with ICA is we don't try and think about people that we know, really, or clients that we've had. What we think about is, who's my actual perfect dream client? You're going to create them into the world in your imagination. So it's an imagination exercise, and it should be fun. So the reason why you can't say, well, I want to work with men or women, just for this exercise, you can work with men and women, obviously. You don't have to choose, you have to put that out publicly, but for this exercise, you're going to pick your number one bullseye dreamy client. Perfect. Let's choose one. And it's all about making decisions. So that's when you can ask yourself, do I actually prefer to work with men or women? Right now, just in this moment, not forever, just for now. Let's just pick it, yeah? And if you're looking at a business this person, I'm on the wrong way in the camera. This person is the person within the business who makes a decision to give you the money. Always. Yeah, that becomes your ICA, your ideal client avatar. Now, if you are selling to the end user, this becomes that person. So, for example, if you do well-being in corporates, it's not the person who accesses the well-being services, it's the HR director, etc., well-being manager, whatever, who makes that decision. That's who becomes your ideal person. And what we do then is we give some space around them. So in my case, this is a boy. So I need you to give them a name. And if you're feeling like, oh, this is stupid and I can't do it, that's perfectly normal. If you're feeling like, this is ridiculous, I don't want to do it, perfectly normal. If you're feeling paralyzed by the fact you might get it wrong, or you might say the wrong thing or pick the wrong thing, and suddenly you'll never be able to work with anyone else, perfectly normal. None of those things are true though. They're just, this is just a game. That's how I want you to think of it. So imagine in your mind, and they have to be somebody that can walk in. There have to be somebody who can walk into to the room where you are and say, I want to buy your stuff. So around them, I want you to start to build up who they are. Yeah, let's call them shit. Super shit. Don't make me do this. Don't make me do that. It's not fair. Right. Okay. So keep pressing the wrong. It's hard doing this to the camera. So, like for example, Natalie said, male CEO stroke directors of digital stroke tech stroke creative companies. Can't be. You can't be all those things. This guy, let's call this guy Dave. Give him a name, write it down. Suddenly they come to life. Dave can't be a CEO and a director of a digital and tech and a creative company. He can only be one of those things. So you have to decide, is Dave a CEO or director? Is he got a digital company or a tech company? Or is it a creative company? You get to decide. And by forcing yourself to create one person, you have to kind of force yourself to make those decisions. Yeah. So Linda's asking about travel agents. I'd be like, who's going to be your ideal client? And it might be the mother of the bride who's going to get married abroad and take 30, whatever the max is, 30 people on a really exotic, far-flung destination wedding, and the husband's going to pay for it. She's making all the decisions. The daughter's the bride, but this woman on this side, you might be Brenda, she's making all the decisions and she's about to spend like 40 grand or 50 grand or whatever that sort of thing costs. That could be your dream client. Yeah. And then you think about that person. So that you've got Dave on one. So let's use Natalie's example. So for Dave, so I'm going to make him, so he's the MD of a digital agency. I'm just making it up so I don't know who your ideal clients are, but you said they're creative. Yeah. So he's an MD of a digital agency. Once you've made that decision of what he does, suddenly everything else starts to fall into place. So for Linda's example, I'm going to use Brenda. I'm going to give her some long hair. Looks like she's got a beard, but anyway, probably has Brenda. Right, so Brenda. So we've got Dave, we've got Brenda. Brenda, she is a senior HR director, let's say. Yeah. Senior HR directors are good people to choose because there's lots of them on LinkedIn. So yeah, so Natalie, we've got a male director of a tech company. So when you start to do this exercise, yeah, Michelle, so you start to feel into it. So Michelle and I worked together for years. We used to go and do this with clients live. And once you actually stand up on a whiteboard, start doing this, people love it. Like it can get really fun. So Dave's MD of a digital agency, if he was 55 or he was 25, they're totally different Daves, right? So which is why you kind of, he could be any age. Well, Dave can't. He has to be a certain age. But we want him to be right for Natalie. So Natalie, would you prefer to work with someone who's like 55 or 25? Because they can both be MDs of digital agencies. And we can give him a jag no matter what. But he's more likely to have a jag if he's 55 or 25. You have to, like, I always say, let's draw a safe space around here. You've got to make loads of assumptions. And that's fine because we're having fun with it. Remember, we're enjoying it. And I'm enjoying my wine. Okay, so let's say Dave is 55. See, I thought you might say that now. So he's 55, which makes him a totally different Dave to 25-year-old Dave. Agreed? Yeah. Brenda, she's a senior director. She's the mother of the bride. So the bride's 30. So she's 55 as well. Oh, she might be married to Dave. Right? Okay. Yeah, so In fact, should we make them married? So Dave's paying for this wedding, or Brenda's making the decisions. That's brilliant. Didn't even plan that, guys. So, right, so let's just look at Dave for a minute. So Dave is a managing director of digital agency. He's 55, so he definitely drives a Jag, yeah? And what does Dave do? Yeah, he wears cashmere sweaters. Yes, are you going to put me off today? Cashmere sweaters. What does Dave do for fun? Dave plays golf, right? Yeah, so he plays golf, but he doesn't do anything that Natalie doesn't like. It's like shooting or, bad things, because he's Dave and we like him and he's a dream client, yeah? So he's got a Jag, wears cashmere sweaters. He's got a number of staff. I know Natalie will need that. So let's say he's got 10 staff, because if Dave's got 100 staff or Dave's got 2 staff, it's a very different proposition from a client point of view. A Dave that's got 100 guys and girls working for him is a different Dave to the one who's got 1 or 2 underneath him. Now, Natalie says Dave cares about his people. And that's super important for Natalie, which is great, yeah? So Dave is basically, he's a good guy. Yeah, we want Dave to be a good guy. Yeah, Dave likes golf and he likes fishing. Yeah, we're all, Dave's a dad, right? So Dave's a dad, isn't he? He's got 2 children that are, so he started quite young with Brenda. So they are 30, daughters getting married, and say 25, son just finished uni. Yeah, we're starting to pull Dave's life together. So he's got 25 employees, which is better for Natalie, which is fine. 25 employees. He needs, I presume this is for HR, I'm just guessing. I don't even know what you're actually going to sell, Dave. It doesn't really matter at this point. But he's got people. He cares about his people. He really cares about golf and fishing. Yeah. He cares about Brenda, and he cares about his daughter, Jane, who's getting married. So his daughters are called Jane and Andrew. A daughter and son, Jane and Andrew. So Jane's getting married. And he cares about Jane, he cares about fishing, he cares about his staff. He's a good guy. He donates to charity. Yeah, he's a big donator. Yeah, what does Dave do for fun, apart from sport? He goes down the pub. Let's forget we're in Corona. He goes down the pub with his mates and he drinks a pint of real ale because he's a good guy. Yeah, everyone knows him in the pub. He lives, let's say, Dave. So again, so this Dave, 55, plays golf and likes fishing. If we put him in the centre of London, yeah, or we put him in the Highlands of Scotland, it's a different Dave. Yeah, so where does Natalie want Dave to be? And then we can work back from there. So if we put him, let's say we put him in the northwest somewhere, because that's what I know best. Yeah, Jane. Yeah. So let's put him in Wilmslow. Anyone from the northwest? Yeah. Anyone in the northwest will know that Dave lives in Wilmslow. He's pretty minted, yeah? So Dave's worked hard all his life. He's probably taking home what? So he probably lives in a 5-bed in Wilmslow. So I'm writing all this down. 5-bed in Wilmslow, which is probably worth $500,000 plus. He's probably still got a mortgage, but not loads left on it. A lot of his family's friends will be doctors and lawyers. They probably play a bit of squash. He is, him and Brenda go out for really nice meals into Manchester. Dave is minted. Dave wants to, like now it says, Dave wants to take a step back from the business in 5 years' time. The business can work without him. Dave is not a stressy man. He's really enjoyed it. He's enjoyed building his business, but he's 55. He wants to slow things down. He's got 10 years till he's retire. What else is going on in Dave's world? Yeah, now we know who Dave is. We know he's taking 100K easy home, like actually home plus dividends and stuff like that. He's got a nice life. His kids are grown up. What is actually keeping Dave awake at night? And it ain't Brenda, not now. What's keeping Dave awake at night? I personally think, it's his health and it's his retirement. So he's like, I've built this business, I've worked really hard, I'm 55, my mates are dropping dead. Dave keeps in shape, like he plays golf, he does a bit of squash and that. He wears budgie smugglers when he goes swimming in the south of France where they've probably got a house. Like when we really understand Dave, we know that the thing that actually keeps him awake at night is like, how am I going to provide for this family and the grandchildren that are on the way? How can I take a step back without it affecting my people? How can I make sure that I get I retire? Is this person going to actually reverse on my drive? They don't want to live it. How am I going to get somebody who wants to, how am I going to retire happily? My investments are a bit all over the place. You know, how am I going to step away from this business but still enjoy it and protect my people? Yeah. Do we feel like we've got a handle on Dave? Yeah. So Natalie's business is people strategy. So Natalie's comment is Dave's staff keep him awake. They keep bitching and he's got a high staff turnover. So that's a massive, huge headache for Dave. Yeah. Everything's lined up, but his staff keep falling out and he keeps losing good people. Do you know why? Because he ain't got a people strategy and he hasn't got Natalie. Yeah. So all we need to do is fill our audience full of Daves and talk to those Daves through our content, which will come on Friday, through our headline. We want to teach him and convince him that Natalie's the solution. So all Natalie needs to do is be super niche, right? So Natalie's headline, which we'll do tomorrow, will be something like helping directors of tech agencies, directors of digital agencies, create people strategies, to stop, I can't do this off the top of my head now, but, to help leaders of digital agencies hire better people and keep people longer using people strategies or the one-off people strategy audit or whatever it is that you're selling them and selling one thing, yeah? Natalie probably only needs 10 Daves at a time, keep her busy, yeah? The more niche you are, the easier it is to get clients, the more focused your content is, the more you can talk to your Dave, whoever that is, the more you can get into the emotions of what's going on in him. When Natalie started out this conversation, she said CEO or MD of a tech or a creative or a digital company. Like now it's Dave and we know him, we got him, we got a handle on him, we can talk to him, we can understand him. If that makes sense. Now Brenda's a totally different person, which is why the ICA work's so fun. And that's why there's no real competition. So, so Natalie's like, 8K for 6 months per Dave. Brilliant. We get 10 Daves every 6 months. That's 160K income. Don't know what else you've got going on, Natalie, but that's probably like a nice contribution to whatever it is that you like doing. And that's what we talked about yesterday for Nat, when she's thinking, right, I want to turn over, I want to make sure I get 160K from this, right? I need however many days that was, can't do the maths. Right, Brenda. So Linda's in travel, so things are difficult at the moment, obviously, but you can still travel to some places and you can still have weddings for up to 30 people, I think. And actually, if I was in travel, I would see this as a bit of an opportunity because suddenly people can't just go online and book a holiday, really. Well, they can, but they don't. Because they're scared and they don't understand it goes, and everyone needs COVID tests and everyone doesn't know the laws in each countries and that people are nervous. So actually travel, if you flip it on its head, this could be a great time to be I presume you're a travel consultant of some kind, but hello. Travel agent. So people still want to travel. There are still planes in the sky. I'm not saying it's easy. I know it's been really difficult. So let's just move on to Brenda. So if Dave is married to Brenda. So Dave, what keeps Dave up awake at night is something totally different. So Brenda, she's working hard. She may be working, so she's a senior HR director, but do we think she works full time if she's married to Dave, who's on 100K plus? Probably not. So let's put her down. She probably went down to 3 days when the kids were little, and she probably never went back up. So let's put her on 3 days. So she's in there, but she's not on LinkedIn as much as Dave, who's in there every day. But she's more active on LinkedIn because she's in HR and tends to be more on there. So senior HR director, 55, living in Wilmslow with Dave. Yeah, so we know she lives in Wilmslow. She's got her the same 2 children. So she's got Jane, who's 30, who's getting married, and Andrew, who's 25. What's Brenda's life like? So what does Brenda do for fun? Yeah, because it ain't what Dave does. Yeah, so Brenda's 55. Dave goes off fishing and golfing. Brenda, what does she do with her spare time? What does she do for fun? Yeah, how does she feel about her work? How does she think? What does she think? What's going on in her life at work and in her private life? Whereas Dave is kind of like so absorbed in his business. What do you think Brenda's been doing for the last 10, 20 years? We're just making assumptions here. Yeah, it's going to be a valid answer, just doesn't know it yet. Absolutely. So let's say Brenda's priorities aren't as much on work as Dave's are. And although she loves her job, she's got a really good work-life balance. Yeah, so she's a happy person. Yeah, we want happy people, don't we? We want to attract happy clients, right? So she likes going on spa weekends. Jane understands this. So she goes on spa weekends. She goes down Wilmslow High Street for some cocktails with the girls. She does a bit of golf, but she just goes along for the social. So she has cake and coffee with friends, super into charity work. So she does a lot of volunteering. She does a lot of like fundraisers, go to like charity galas. Yes, I know we're making assumptions, but she does these empty nester, wants to have more holidays, totally stressed out with the whole COVID thing. Her main priority, I feel, is when am I going to get some of these grandchildren that everyone else has got? Who's 55? Like, when's Dave going to take a step back so we can do more holidays and more weekends away and spend more time with the children and soon to be grandchildren? She's very excited about Jane's upcoming wedding. Very excited. Very. She's the mummy bridezilla. Yeah. She's got time, right? Whereas Jane, who is the actual potential person who's obviously going to make some of the decisions here, Jane's 30. She's got engaged. She wants to organise a wedding abroad, and she doesn't want to organise it. She's in the middle of her career. She's working full time. She's probably doing something in finance or maybe digital. She's really exhausted. She loves a boyfriend, fiance, but she doesn't want to organise this holiday wedding thing. She's just said to her mum, "Mum, please can you help me?" And Mum, Brenda, has taken the reins, and she's insane. Right, so brilliant. Dave's happy because Brenda's busy. Yeah, stopped asking him to go around charity shops and things like that down the garden centre. So the thing is with Brenda, she's sitting at work, loving her job, but she's not interested in getting ahead. She's not climbing the greasy pole now. She's like looking at I've been doing 3 days for a while. Like just let's get it. Let's just. I'm just here on LinkedIn. Jane sees a post, from Linda. I'm the weddings abroad specialist. I will sort all that out for you. You do not need to worry. I will create the wedding that will make all of your friends envious. I will create for you, without you having to lift a finger, I will create a wedding that allows you, as mother of the bride and organizer of the wedding, to take all the goddamn credit. All I need is your money. I do all the work, You can just make the fun decisions in terms of venues and flowers and music and all that kind of stuff. I'm going to do all the hard work, all the graft, all the admin. I'm going to make sure everyone gets the corona test on time. I'm going to make sure everyone gives me their passport numbers on time. I'm going to book everyone on the flight. I'm going to email everyone before we go and make sure everyone's got multiple masks. I'm going to do all that for you, Brenda, and you're going to just love it. You're just going to enjoy it. It's going to cost you 30, 40, 50 grand, and put that out there. I will create the wedding of your daughter's dreams, which is secretly your dreams. And everyone's going to be like, oh, wow, what a wedding, what a family. This is a family of great standing. Dave isn't a doctor or a lawyer. Like he's running his own business, which has got its own kind of kudos, but he hasn't got quite that social standing that Brenda maybe secretly desires. So to pull off this huge wedding and, all expenses paid, let's take, the closest family and friends out there. Like Linda or any other travel consultants watching this, you can be the solution to Brenda's problems and you get paid for it. You get the money, Brenda takes the credit. This is the importance of ideal client avatar work. I can't really stress it enough. It's one of those things that I know people almost dismiss of like, oh, well, you can sell to anyone, so just focus on that. Or, you put yourself out there, then the right people will come to you. And that can work to a point, but this makes everything easier and fun, more fun. So, Michelle, this is a whole soap opera. I'm invested. She wants to be in Cheshire Live. Great wish she made Dave redundant. No, Dave's got his own business. He's good. He's had everyone on furlough. He's good. But this is what I mean. Like, who feels like they know Dave and Brenda and Jane? Like, and there's a son involved there. Like, so if you sell, say you sell something like, what would Jane buy? So Jane's just got engaged and she's really stressed, she's really busy, and she's, instead of having a baby, they got a dog. Yeah, so they didn't want to have a baby yet, but because they were going to get married and all that kind of stuff, and they're really busy working on their career, but they got a dog, and they thought getting a dog would be really cute, and the dog is cute, but it's also a nightmare, and it's winter, and they both work full time, and, you know, Brenda's not as keen as they thought to walk the dog, and suddenly you as a dog walker, dog groomer and dog supporter, basically I'll look after your dog like you should, but you can't look at work. That's how I would position it, you know. So just like imagine you pop up in front of Jane and it's like, oh yeah, I want this. So like if I was a dog person, like as in that was my business, my message would be, I know you're really stressed and busy, and I know you love your dog, and I know you want to have fun and enjoy your dog. And I know that when you get home from work, you feel guilty and weird, and you have to walk it in all weathers rather than just enjoying the beautiful Instagrammy type moments that you were hoping for. Won't say that, but you know what I mean? I will look after your dog like you would if you could. That's what my market would be. And I would be in that house every day, stroking the dog, playing the dog, sending videos of the dog to Jane. I will be making sure on my calendar, I know Michelle will be rolling her eyes at this, but because it's not my job, right? I'm just a bad cat mum as well. But, you know, I would have a calendar making sure I would take the dog to all its appointments, its grooming, its vet's appointments. I'd keep it up to date. I'd take progress photos of it. I'd treat it like a baby for them, like it's like they should be doing. And then, you know, I'd pick all the dog poo up in the garden. I would like train the dog. I would do dog behavioral therapy on it. I'd get a dog mind reader to talk to it. I'd pull out all the goddamn dog stops, and you know what? Jane will pay for that because she loves that dog and she feels massively guilty. So like, there's always an extra. There's always a way to like turn anything into that extra special service. Whether it's a wedding abroad, whether it's dog walking, whether it's people strategy, like. It's all about the emotions-based selling. It's all about what's actually going on in this person's hearts and minds. And if you don't really know the person and understand what's going on in their world and understand what's going on around them, and, you know, morally, psychologically, emotionally, financially, spiritually, like if you can't define them, you can't know the answers to any of those questions, even if it is a best guess. You can't make a best guess of how a whole swathe of the population, let's say women over 40, are really feeling, because there's so many different factors. Whereas if you really niche it down, nail it down, and just pick one person to really go deep on, to let you know them like you know themselves, you know them better than they know themselves, it'll change everything. You draw them out and you write it and you put it up somewhere, and you're extra. Yeah, you have got permission to be go deep, have fun with it. Like, go really deep into what's going on. You can go into what happened in their childhood. What do they want in the future? Like, do they believe in God? You know, what do they spend their money on? Like, have they got something secret they don't want to tell you about? Like, they wouldn't want you to know about, like a porn addiction, or like, have they ever had an affair? Like, would they help someone bury a body? Like, really go deep on this one person, because when you really know them and you feel like you could, you know, I could sell my friends anything. You know, because I understand them so well and I'm so emotionally connected with them. It's that you're trying to recreate when you do ICA work. It's personal to you. It's not something you have to put out publicly, although you absolutely can. In any of my groups, you can draw that out and post it. I suggest you draw it out and you put it up where you can see it. But it's a personal relationship between you and your goddamn ideal client. Right? I want you to fall in love with them. And then when they find you, you will recognize them. You will see them. And I know this because I've seen that happen a million times in my groups. People say, my absolute ideal client messaged me today. I couldn't believe it. Even little things that people think don't matter. Have they got a dog or a cat and all that kind of stuff? It's all there. It's all lined up. And I'm like, wow, imagine that. You know, it's just, ICA work's a gift, right? And it's a gift that you have to give yourself. I can't do it for you. And the reason why I can't do it for you is because I don't know who your ideal client is, because I don't know you as well as you know yourself. So you have to really go deep and actually ask yourself those questions and have fun with it. And it's not like a one-off thing. Like, just keep evolving it, keep adding to it, make it 3D. Like, in the future, what I'd really like is for people to know their ideal client avatar so well that we've got like a sort of 3D. I mean, it'd be great to have a cardboard cutout. I know some people do a picture. but I want to do like a sort of AI representation of this person, you know, come to life. Because when you can bring them in the room and you can talk to them, you can ask them questions, even if you're doing it in your head, you're miles ahead. You're absolutely miles ahead. Yeah, thanks, Michelle. Yes, it is a bit of a spoiler alert. So it is only Tuesday. Tomorrow we're going to get juicy on the headlines, which is, you know, super powerful. Like, I don't do headline feedback, but I've got a feeling I probably will do a bit tomorrow. I've not done it for a while. There's a headline template that you can get a hold of. I'll get the link for you tomorrow, or get it put in the comments here today so you can have a go at it, definitely. But yeah, ideal client avatar is not something that's for other people, it's for you. It's for you to do in any business that you have, and it's super important. It's so important that I wouldn't move on to any next stage in your business until you've done it, and you've done it well and enjoyed it and had fun with it. So, like anything. But yeah, spoiler alert, it is absolutely massive part of the mastermind. ICA work is everything, you know, in all of my work, everything I do, whether it's, like I say, one-to-one. I've done this for multi-million-pound companies who look at me with blank faces when I start to talk about this stuff. But we've got a whole team in a boardroom, you know, really having fun with it and enjoying it. You know, I've done it in workshops, I've done it online, I've done it in seminars, I've done it on stage. I've done it, you know, a million times in a million different ways, and it never gets old and it never gets less powerful. Like, it's so important. It's so important. So please do take the time right now. Go and get a piece of paper and start mapping out your ideal client for you and your business right now, not forever, just for now. I'm going to be here tomorrow doing headlines, Thursday doing something else, I can't remember. And Friday I will be here, but in the morning. So Friday I'll be here in the morning talking about content, because I've got stuff on. Natalie, my client, loved you. Yeah, I wanted to, Natalie signed me up to do a workshop with her client, and they loved me, which is good because it can be a bit marmite-y. So you can't click on that link, but hopefully you can work it out. But if you want to have a look, look at the mastermind, see all the things you get in there, and you will see absolutely, you know, ICA is such a big part of that, and we help you with it, and we help you refine it and really get to apply it in the real world as well. So it's good fun. So cart closes midnight on Friday. Yes, Michelle, the first time I did it, it's on a flip chart once in golf club. That feels like 3, 4, 5 lifetimes ago. But yeah, it's never changed though, has it? It's never changed. The stuff I teach never changes. So, you know, don't panic. I'm not going to change this method. It's going to stay like this forever. So have a go at it, enjoy it, have fun with it, and see what happens. You can't get it wrong. That's the most important thing. You can't get it wrong. Have fun. Thank you, Michelle, for putting the link in. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks for being a part of it. And yeah, hopefully see some of you join in between now and Friday. Jacqui's starting tomorrow in the LinkedIn Market Group doing her lives. If you want to hear from somebody who's been a part of the mastermind for years, Jacqui does some great content around, you know, the mastermind, what it's like working with me, with the ambassador, being part of the ambassador team, and, you know, warts and all, tells it how it is. So it's good. Natalie says it works. Get in the mastermind. Lovely. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye.